Senator, one of my dear friends tonight said to me, well, all these suburban women, all they care about is abortion, and they don't understand that decision is with the states now. It's not banned nationally, even if some people want it to be banned nationally. It's with the states. What do you say to suburban women out there who are marinating in this propaganda?
Well, first of all, I don't buy that, Laura. I think most suburban women care about the normal things that most Americans care about, right? They care about inflation. They care about the price of groceries. They care about public safety.
Yeah, normal things, reproductive rights, the right to an abortion, the right to not bleed out in your car because you're being denied any care because you're miscarrying. That's weird. That's weird stuff. Birth is weird. There's JD Vance kind of not picking up what Laura Ingraham is putting down there and saying that, no, in fact, your friend is wrong. There is no propaganda. In fact, there is suburban women. They don't even care about abortion whatsoever. And this is all an effort to obviously hide the ball, tell us that they're not actually going after reproductive rights, that they haven't already had a massive win with the overturning of Roe v. Wade from their extremist Supreme Court. And Tim Walz immediately fired back because, again, he's the happy attack dog of the Harris campaign. We kind of love him for it. He tweeted this in response, said, it's pretty normal to respect a woman's right to make her own damn healthcare decisions. Yeah, it's a normal, there's nothing more normal than being like, oh, your body? Yeah, that's important for you to decide when and how and if you will be a parent. But there is more from JD Vance. He went back to the classic line that I think we're all sick of, all the fear mongering that apparently Democrats were doing. So take a look.
Look, as Donald Trump has said, he wants the American people at the state level to decide abortion policy. And you compare that to the Democrats who want to do nationalized, taxpayer-funded abortion up to the moment of birth. I think Donald Trump is actually trying to identify the reasonable compromise where he lets California figure out its abortion policy, Alabama and Ohio figure out their abortion policy. That is actually the common sense approach, and it's the approach that's most respectful of the American people. The Democrats are obsessed with late-term abortion and making sure taxpayers fund it. Obviously, Republicans disagree with that, but I think that Donald Trump has charted a very reasonable course for the American people. Let the American people decide this.
Yeah, let the American people, the person, decide this, right? Can we just do that? There's more on Trump because he's in a little bit of a fun bind, but Cenk, I think it's incredible that he wasn't able to understand that Laura was basically saying her and her friends see all these suburban women who are clearly they've been hearing the concern, and she's like, they're just marinating in propaganda, right? And he's like, no, they're not marinating at all. In fact, what you just said is actually not true.
Hey, don't scroll away. Come back. Because before the video continues, we just want to urge you to lend your support to TYT. You power our honest reporting. You do it at tyt.com/team, and we love you for it.
Yeah, he missed it completely, and as always, it's a softball on Fox News. But I wanted to also focus on a couple of things you said, and they said, Franny. You said, you were focusing on let the American people decide. And in this case, it would be a woman who decides what to do with her own body. I know that for the people who claim that they're in favor of freedom, that's a shock to them. They're like, well, no, my freedom, not your goddamn freedom, right? So let's just note that as always. But 70% of Americans are in favor of basically the Roe v. Wade policy of abortion being free and available and legal in the first 2 trimesters, and then having exceptions for health in the last trimester. And so, yeah, why don't we let the American people decide? But Vance doesn't want that. The Christian right doesn't want that. They go, no, we're the Christian Taliban, and whatever we think that God whispered to us. Well, again, not in the Bible. The Bible is actually pro-abortion. Read Numbers 5:11 through 31. God actually commits an abortion in the Bible. Read your Bible, okay? So these religious leaders hijacked the Bible and said, oh, yeah, we want to control women's bodies. Oh, I mean, God wants to control women's bodies. I mean, God cares about babies, and that's why we're controlling your bodies, etc. But it didn't work. We don't want to be led by your extremist fundamentalist ideology. 70% of Americans are clear. So what does Laura Ingraham call that? Marinating in propaganda. Well, wait, it's a poll number. How is it propaganda? So if if 7 out of 10 Americans, for example, want to keep their guns, right? They don't want gun control. Would you say that's marinating propaganda? No, that's just a poll number, right? And I could try to change their mind on that, but it's a poll number. And so, whereas a talking point, which is all you ever hear on Fox News, is marinating in propaganda. And so, and to me, I've got to point out every time they do these outrageous lies. So JD Vance said, oh, the Democrats want nationalized, taxpayer-funded abortion until the moment of birth. Just a preposterous lie. That is not true. No one has ever advocated for any of that. Right now, it is not taxpayer-funded by law, and it is not till the moment of birth. And so they keep saying that lie 2,000 times over because they're hoping like, oh, the only way that you could possibly be in favor of their position is if you think, just that woman walked in 9 months pregnant, or now as the lunatic Donald Trump keeps saying, post-birth abortions, right?
Yeah,
I have a baby, where do I go and kill it? Yeah, if you thought that, you would vote for Trump, but that's not true. Any other position on abortion and they lose. That's why they lie about what the reality on abortion is.
Yeah, and look, Trump is flip-flopped on whether he would pass a national abortion ban. He's running away. It actually took a month, in March he was saying, yeah, that he'd pass a 15-week abortion ban. And then in April he was like, no abortion ban. We never do an abortion ban. So they claim that it's up to the states, which by the way, it's terrible under the states. It's already up to the states right now, and it had been even before Roe was overturned and people were facing obstetric nightmares for either wanted or unwanted pregnancies. So that was already happening. To say nothing of the 10-year-olds who were victims of rape who have had to carry their children to term, right? Their babies to term. But on to the Trump thing. Donald Trump is a resident of Florida, which is interesting. He votes in Florida. And a lot of people are wondering how he's going to vote in the upcoming election, not for president, obviously, but on a ballot initiative, a measure that would abolish the state's new ban on abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy. And when DeSantis signed the law to make abortion illegal after 6 weeks, Trump called it a mistake. But now he's going to be able to vote on this measure, whether to revoke it. And he doesn't really have an answer. The looming referendum is threatening all of his efforts, again, as he put it in April, to make, quote, both sides happy with his position. And it's giving Democrats an opening to continue hammering him. And here's what he said during a press conference, clearly unprepared. And here's his stock answer when he doesn't know what to say or what he's going to do. Take a look.
Well, I'm going to announce that. I'm going to actually have a press conference on that at some point in the near future, so I don't want to tell you now. But Florida does have a vote coming up on that, and I think probably the vote will go in a little more liberal way than people thought, but I'll be announcing that at the appropriate time.
This is the most like, I'll raise my hand once everyone else has raised their hand, but I don't want to raise my hand yet because I don't want to be the first one. What? Like it is. So again, he's saying it might go in a more liberal way, meaning they might overturn this DeSantis 6-week abortion, which is, again, effectively, biologically, a total abortion ban. Most people don't know they're pregnant by 6 weeks. The polling is mixed. However, it might not go the way Trump says it's going to go. The ballot measure shows that abortion rights proponents so far have the advantage, 69% of likely voters saying they plan to vote yes. According to a July survey, the initiative needs 60% support to pass. So yeah, it could actually, he might be correct on this. A poll from Wednesday more recently from the Florida Atlantic University and Main Street USA found 56% of Sunshine State voters support the proposed amendment, falling short of, again, that 60% threshold Florida requires for constitutional amendments to become law. But then again, Cenk, I'm old enough to remember when they also said, yeah, felons should be re-enfranchised and should be able to vote. And then the state legislature was like, oh, that's cute. No. And then they just overruled the will of the people.
Yeah, and it used to be 50% in a lot of states, and now all the Republican legislatures are moving the ballot initiatives up to 60% because they're like, oh, this democracy is annoying. The Democrats keep winning. Let's move it up 60%, 80%. Why? Because the legislatures are all gerrymandered. So they cheated to make sure that they have districts that overrepresent Republicans in their state legislatures, but they can't cheat in a ballot initiative. So they hate ballot initiatives. They're like, goddamn democracy. How do we strangle this thing in its crib? By the way, we're pro-life. Okay, so there's that 70% number in the first poll that Franny read you guys and that's true in Florida, which is now a red state. It's true in almost every state. And Trump said, that's it's more liberal than anyone thought. No, nope. Everyone thought it was going to be about 7 out of 10. It's just you guys in the Christian right who, basically Christian Taliban, thought that you guys were the majority. You're not the majority. You're a minority, and you're a very annoying anti-freedom minority who keeps saying everybody has to follow our rules. No, we don't, brother. It's a democracy. So sad day for you. Go cry in the corner of your fundamentalist church. No, goat's blood and all that stuff and whatever wacky thing you're doing, or wrap yourself in a snake. But the American people, you lost the culture wars. The American people do not agree with you. We should not take away women's rights to choose what to do with their own body because you think Yahweh whispered it in your goddamn ear. Okay, and he did something really stupid there. He promised a press conference on abortion. And his aides were like, what? We didn't know about that. Maybe, okay. So you're gonna do a whole press conference on an abortion where you're getting your ass, on an issue where you're getting your ass handed to you? Great, I can't wait for that press conference. That would be a wonderful mistake. But most importantly, Franny, a lot of MAGA likes Trump because he's authentic, man. He's the one guy telling it like it is. Really? Because he just told you he has to check with his political consultants before he tells you his real opinion on abortion. Right. If he has a real opinion on abortion. If you ask me what my opinion on that ballot initiative is, it's easy. I know it right away. I don't have to go, well, I'm gonna have to figure it out. I don't know what, I'm gonna tell you a lie, but I haven't figured out which lie yet. That's why I got the political consultants, and we're gonna say, hey, where's the numbers? And how should we lie to them? How should we frame it? What happened? I thought he wasn't a standard politician. Looks like a greasy lying politician to me.
Yeah. And lastly, just some numbers back to the Ingraham stuff, it's up to the states. Don't we realize it's up to the states? Yeah, women don't like that it's up to the states either, okay? So this is a recent a report from KFF, which is a health policy organization. They say 3 in 4 reproductive age women, again, this is just reproductive age women in the US, think abortion should be legal in most or all cases, 74%, so a little bit more than the average. Majority support a nationwide right to abortion, 70%, oppose a ban at 15 weeks, 64%. And oppose leaving it up to the states to determine the legality of abortion, 74%. This is the case from the majority of women who are Democrats and independents, as well as smaller but still substantial shares of Republicans. Yeah, so and this, I know you guys are gonna get into it later, but this also is driving, I think, a wedge between couples and families and women and men who are like, one of them, and Cenk, the last thing I'll say is, it's not you're steeped in propaganda. They're not watching TYT. Sorry that we're spitting facts. Like, sorry that we're bringing you some stats. It's that they're hearing it from their friends. They're hearing it from people they know. They're hearing, concerns about people who have, are going through IVF right now and don't know if that's gonna be protected. Oh, but that's gonna be protected. But then what about people who are miscarrying or people who have ectopic pregnancies that are non-viable? They're hearing it from people in their communities, right? And we just did a big story on it yesterday. More than 100 women have been turned away at hospitals seeking emergency care while pregnant, and they've been turned away because the hospitals are like, we gotta consult our lawyers. Yeah, I don't, can you just bleed out in the bathroom? Can you just miscarry over there? Thank you. So they're not hearing it from propaganda outlets.
You know what that sounds like to me, Franny? It sounds like government tyranny. When the government says, you no longer control your body. Big Brother controls your body now, and Big Brother will tell you exactly what to do with your body, and your only role you have in this democracy is the freedom to shut up and listen to some sort of Christian fundamentalist, or maybe, by the way, maybe they'll replace religions later and use a Muslim or a Jewish or a Buddhist or a Hindu fundamentalist. But it doesn't matter. You will listen to religious zealots, and you will not be allowed to have your own opinion or control over your own body. By the way, this is from the party that believes in freedom. Do you?
Hey, thanks for watching that video. We really appreciate it, guys. And we appreciate it if you become members, because that allows us to be independent, honest, progressive, all the things that you don't get from corporate media. And all of that is because of you guys. Hit the join button below and become one of us, become a young Turk.